Are you brand new to WoW Classic? Have you never played World of Warcraft before? Well, I'm going to help you right now get a better start by customizing your settings in the way that I have mine. These settings are just going to help you get a better feel for the game, and it's just going to be quality of life improvements to the default settings. So without further ado, let's get right into the video. So the first settings that we're going to be looking at is the auto loot. You will find this in the gameplay controls tab. Once you are at the controls, all you have to do is come back down to the auto loot and turn it on. This means that if you're killing any enemies or looting any boxes, if you have the auto loot on, it means that all of the loot will automatically go into your bag. Now this can get annoying at the later stages when you're doing dungeons and you're picking up nothing but trash, but for the early stages, auto loot is very good. So the next setting that we're going to be looking at is also in the gameplay controls. It's down by camera, and we're looking at the camera following style. So by default, it's set to only horizontal when moving. So this means that if my character starts moving right now, I'll start facing forward. The camera did that by itself. But if I go back into the options and I go down to never adjust, that means that when I move forward, I'll be able to always look behind me. You do need this on if there's any times that you're fighting enemies or you're just trying to heal your teammates. You don't want your camera to move. So if you're trying to run away from an AoE attack, you don't want your camera to move. So all you have to do is turn off that setting and put it to never adjust the camera. It's very good and it is very nice to have on. Now, right underneath that setting, there's also going to be the max camera distance. I like having this as 2. That means that when I zoom out, I'm able to zoom out a lot. Now this is very good for when you're doing raids, because then you'll be able to see the boss, you'll be able to see all the people around you, and if you're a healer, you'll be able to see where the people need healing. Now if I was to go into my camera and I was supposed to turn that down to, let's say, 1, that means that my camera just won't go out as much. So this is the max the camera will go out. Once again, this is more of a preference, that if you feel like you'd use the longer range, then by all means go and use it. But I feel like 2 is very nice because you can go out as far as you want and you'll be able to see everything around you. So the next setting that we're going to be looking at is the NPC names. This is under gameplay and interface. Once you come over to NPC names, you'll have a few there that you can pick. The main one that you want to pick is the quest NPCs, because if you have the quest NPCs on, the only thing that the game will do is display names for NPCs involved with quests. This means that if you're out in Elwyn Forest and there's a quest that you can pick up, the NPC's name will appear. If the NPC does not give you any quest and has no reason to be on your screen, the NPC's name will not be displayed. So I would highly recommend putting on quest NPCs, whereas all NPCs will just clutter up your screen too much. So the next setting that we're going to be looking at is in nameplates. This is just right under the interface section. Once you come down to the nameplates, you'll be able to put on a setting called always show nameplates. So once I click on this, you will now be able to see everybody's nameplates. This is just very beneficial for when you're looking out for a certain character so you can heal them, or if you're fighting enemies you can deal damage to them. So I would highly recommend putting on always show nameplates just so you can always see where these characters are. And the next setting that we're going to be looking at is under the nameplates as well. It's nameplate motion type. So by default, your nameplate motion type should be overlapping nameplates. This does clutter up your screen a little bit because, as you can see from all the characters behind me, that their nameplates are overlapping. But if you come into the settings and you just put that to a stacking type, you will then see that they start stacking up. Very easy, and it's just a very nice thing to have. So the next setting that we're going to be talking about is status text. So you're going to find status text all the way into gameplay interface, all the way down to display, and that's where you're going to see status text. Now I would recommend putting this to numeric value. This means that if you look up in the top left of our screen, you will then see our health and mana points. This tells you how much points you have in your health and mana. It's very nice to have. Now, if you do want to go with percentage, you can go with percentage. This will show you 100% on both, and if you use spells, that will go down. Or if you want, you can go into both, where your left side is going to be the percentage and your right side is going to be the numeric value. But I like having it at the numeric value because it lets me know how much health and mana that I actually have. Now, the next setting that I'm going to be talking about isn't really needed, but it is very nice to know about. So if you go into your settings, go to interface and come down to display, you will see the show helmet. Now, my character has a helmet on her at the moment, so if I go over and I click on that, she then puts on the helmet. So you can see that the helmet is on my character right now. I don't like that helmet. I think it's ugly. So if I wanted to get that helmet off while I'm still wearing that helmet, all I have to do is put on the setting, and now my character does not have the helmet. It's very nice to have. You can still see that she's wearing the helmet, but I don't have it on my character right now. And the same goes with the cloak. Now, to be honest, I do like the cloaks in the game, so I do have this setting on. But once again, if you don't want to have your cloak on, just turn it off. It's very easy, and it's just to make your characters look nicer. Now, the next setting that we're going to be talking about is one that I would highly recommend. This game is notorious for its quests. Like, there is a lot of quests in this game. And when you go over to an NPC to pick up this quest, you will be left with a big ass dialogue that you do not want to read. You might read the first few, but after a while it gets boring, and all you want to do is pick up the quest and be on your way. So I would highly recommend coming into your gameplay interface display and going down to instant quest tech. This will stop the game from writing out the text and just instantly give you the quest. It is well needed, and I would highly recommend it. Like, trust me guys, if you were to play this game for hours, you want this setting on. And the next setting that we're going to be talking about is the show free bag space. This is also in gameplay interface and display. When you come down to this setting, if you have it turned on, you will see that in the bottom right of my corner, there is now a 9 over my brown bag. This is to display that I have 9 slots in that bag. If I was to turn off, the 9 disappears, and now I don't know how many slots are free in the bag. So I would highly recommend this. It's just very good for when you're doing dungeons or raids and you need to know how much space you have in your bags. So the next thing that we're going to be looking at is extra action bars. So at the bottom of our screen, you can see that my 1, 2, 3, 4 are all abilities, but I feel like it's not enough. So if you come up to gameplay and action bars, if you click on action bar 2, 3, 4 and 5, you will see that extra action bars are all around my screen. This is just very beneficial, so you can actually have more on your screen at once and you'll be able to use all of your abilities. So the next thing that we're going to be looking at is show numbers for cooldowns. So you will find this in gameplay action bars and it's going to be just right in front of you. I would recommend putting this on because if you end up using a spell, it will then tell you how long is left on that cooldown. So I just used the ice block and now I only have 4 minutes to wait until I can use the next one. It is very beneficial to have and it will save you a lot if you don't know how long your cooldowns are on for. And the next setting that we're going to be looking at is target damage and healing. So basically what you're going to do is you're going to come to gameplay combat and you're going to come the whole way down to target damage. You're basically going to turn this one on and the healing if you're a healer, for the reason that you will then see the numbers pop up on your screen when you're doing any healing or damage. So it will basically show you how much damage you're doing with your spells or with your weapons or anything like that. So it's just very nice to have. It's probably one of the best things that you can have on because it makes you feel like you're actually doing a lot when you're doing dungeons, raids, or you're just going around in a party. So I would recommend putting these on. It's just very nice to have. So the next thing that we're going to be looking at is in the social tab. This is going to be the guild member alert. I'm in a guild. I'm in a guild since I started playing WoW, and the one thing that's very annoying is that whenever somebody comes online, a little audio cue will come up and it will say that the member has come online or gone offline. It is very annoying. You can see down in the corner right now, target went offline, but then this dude came online. And when that dude came online, an audio cue came through my headset. So if you want that to stop, just go over, unclick it, and you will no longer see that or hear that happening. So the next setting that we're going to be looking at is in the system and graphics. We're going to be looking at the UI scale. So this should be just set to 100% automatically. So if you come into your settings, you go to graphics, you come down to the use UI scale. If you just click on that, you will now have a slider. You can make it bigger, you can make it smaller. I would recommend making it smaller, because if you do, everything is just smaller on your screen, which means that you can actually see more. So I would recommend doing it. It is very beneficial. And there you go, 15 settings that are going to make your life a lot better when it comes to WoW Classic. If you found this video helpful and you want to help support the channel, don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, and I'll see you for the next video. Thank you and goodbye.